Right, hello again. I've had a few people recently request another tutorial, so I'm going to do number 4. We've had quite a few countries already. We've had Malta, South Korea, Botswana, Russia, Greece, Kyrgyzstan, Bulgaria, Cambodia, New Zealand, Réunion, and then Kenya, USA, South Africa, Ukraine, and Mongolia. So if I get a repeat, I will just skip it because you can go and watch me talking about that in one of my older videos. So let's have a look. Number 1, right. Sun looks like it's in the north. It's not actually, no, can't tell. Let's move around a bit. Okay. Script looks Thai to me. Don't think we've had Thailand, have we? Yeah, the script looks pretty much Thai, but let's move around a bit and try and make sure. We're driving on the left and the sign is Thai. Okay, so we're in Thailand. So imagining this is a game of no moving, from here we have enough clues to work out with 100% certainty that we're in Thailand, and we can even narrow it down a bit more than that. So let me talk through it. We're driving on the left. Now Cambodia has very similar looking script to my eye, at least, and also can look quite similar in terms of buildings, landscape. So if you're unsure of the difference, Cambodia actually drive on the right and Thailand drive on the left, and it's not Lao because they use yellow number plates. So I mean, the reason we know we're in that part of the world is because it's kind of tropical. We've got this script here. You kind of need to learn how to recognize that. I think describing script is a complete waste of time. You have to just look at it for yourself. It's a bit of practice, but it has that look to it. And if you're unsure, you can use the script on the map to help you out. But yeah, beyond that, we can narrow it down even further. We're definitely in the west of the country. Well, either in the west along here where it's much more mountainous, or maybe just somewhere down along the peninsula, because there are some mountainous spots there. East of the country is much flatter, actually quite dry, whereas the west is more much more wet, much more mountainous, more green even. So that's how you recognise Thailand. You get some red soil around this side as well. It looks quite a lot like Cambodia. So if you're in Thailand with reddish soil, eastern part of the country is your best bet. It's quite a difficult country, I think, because you end up in places like this where there's no Latin script. So you have to do a fair bit of moving around before you can actually find something useful. But you do, so cities, you'll find decent signs in cities. You'll find like a big crossroad where it will point towards different provinces or towns. So let's say you were here, it would say, you'd come to a crossroad and there'd be some signs saying Sukhothai this way, Uttaradit that way, so that you can kind of triangulate using that. And then if you're somewhere more rural, you do get signs with Latin script that can help you out. And they have, road numbers that you can try and find. I think the numbers are generally grouped together for the most part, but sometimes it can trip you up a bit. So I think all the 3s seem to be over here, and then I think if you go down here, it'd be more, a few more 3s. Yeah, the logic to it is a bit odd with the 4-digit ones, but I think if you have... Now we're on to the 4s. Yeah, the logic to me is slightly strange, but generally you can find some of the numbers are kind of grouped together. Let's carry on moving a bit and see if we find one of the signs I'm talking about. Because otherwise I'm just going from memory. Am I coming back the way we came from? I can't remember. We may well be. Let me move this way. It's worth learning a few towns, just so you know where they are. If you see the name, they'll be familiar to you. So Bangkok obviously is a big one. That's tough to pinpoint in. Then the other ones that come up a fair bit are Udon Thani, Ubon Ratchathani, Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, Phitsanulok, sorry. I think this one. There's a town here, I think. Can't really see the name, but I think it's Phetchabun, but I could be wrong. But yeah, mostly I think if you know where those towns are, I think sometimes you will find a sign that will point a kind of long way towards one of these more major towns in a slightly less populated area. Also, yeah, it's good to use the provinces to help you out. You'll find them named on borders and, as I said, on signs. If you find a road sign, a lot of the time it will point you in the direction of a province and it will call it out by name, so that's something to look out for. So I'm not sure if we're going to come across any of the signs. Hang on, what's this? No, again, that's not really what I was hoping for. Okay, there we go. We've got a road number there, but it's a bit of a funny one. I haven't quite cracked this country and the road numbers. But given that I think we're in the west, I'm going to have a quick scan around and see if I can find something. 2473. Can't find any here that start with a 2, so maybe I'm just completely wrong. But maybe as I come down here we'll see something. Now they are all 3s. So yeah, as I said, we might actually be down south on the peninsula. So let's see if that's possible. There's something with a 2 there. Okay, interestingly enough, I can't find anything. Which is a bit worrying in a tutorial video, but I'm going to put us around here. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, it was actually much further east than I thought. Turns out I'm talking a load of rubbish. There you go, you learn something every day. I didn't think this particular area was that mountainous. Thought from kind of here east was pretty flat, but I was wrong. So I didn't actually zoom into this area to have a look. And if I had done, we'd have found it pretty easily. But anyway, that's Thailand, and I learned something new myself. Didn't know that this area was a potential spot for where we were. So I'll have to bear that in mind. Anyway, right, next country. And we are in Northern Hemisphere, looking at the shadow. Let's have a bit of a move. Should be Europe, somewhere quite southern, based on the climate and the architecture. And it's Greece. Have we had Greece? I think that might be a repeat. I think my advice in Greece was basically just give up. No, I'm joking. I probably said something halfway useful, but it's such a difficult country, so I'm going to skip that. Right, next one. I think this is UAE. Have we had this? Don't think we have. So, well, Arabic. Not that many countries using Arabic script on Geoguessr. I mean, Tunisia, Senegal sometimes, a couple of places in Egypt. Jordan, Palestine. Am I missing anything? And then UAE. So yeah, UAE, Arabic, generally more developed than most other countries using Arabic script on Geoguessr. There you've got the domain, so that helped me out straight away. But yeah, look for kind of big, wide roads, good road quality, a lot of industry and retail. Generally quite a lot of kind of slightly more expensive looking cars. Drive on the right. In terms of the coverage, you're not really going to be south of here. Most of the coverage is actually up in this corner of the country, so forget being way out in the desert here. Kind of focus you'll get if you're making a random guess. Definitely guess somewhere in this circle. It's helpful to know some of the towns because sometimes they abbreviate them. Sometimes they say RAK or UAQ, and if you know to look out for that, then you'll be okay. Dubai and Sharjah are the main two that you'll see. Dubai, you can kind of recognize the skyline, to be honest, because of the Burj Khalifa. You can see that from quite a long way off, and you can use it to kind of, if you use that and the compass, you can work out roughly where you are. Thing is, once you go out of the city, it's desertous very quickly, so all these areas will be complete desert. And then as you go further east, it's actually quite mountainous. Mountains kind of jagged, quite distinctive looking, and I find they look quite a lot like the mountains you find around in the kind of southern Jordan. And occasionally I get them confused, but they're very kind of jagged looking, and yeah, they're kind of dry, kind of brown mountains. Pinpointing it's sort of okay because generally the quality of the signs is quite good, but you'll find you'll go into somewhere like this and there aren't any street names on the map. I mean, you get one or two, but if you start somewhere like here, you're really going to have to work backwards from. You kind of need to pinpoint another place and then work backwards, kind of counting left and right turns to work out where you are, so that's tough. Yeah, generally speaking, most of the locations you get will be kind of in the sphere of Dubai and Sharjah, but then you'll find yourself up in Ras Al Khaimah, Fujairah, Al Quwain, and then if you're in the desert, I think it's sometimes okay for pinpointing. If you find a good sign, you can use it to your advantage and generally work out roughly where you are. So let's have a look at this one. So that's a road number there, E11, which is this, and it's pointing towards Abu Dhabi, which is down here. So we know we're somewhere around Dubai because it's saying Bur Dubai. We've got a couple of other clues there, but I'm not. Let's check out this sign and see if that's any better. Al Ghubaiba and Al Shindaga. You can generally zoom in and find these names, but I'm not too sure about where these are. Here you can see the names of the different neighbourhoods. Hang on, did we see something with that name? I think we did. Bur Dubai, there we go. So we've already worked out that we're roughly in this area because we saw that name and that name. So you could probably guess at this point that you're, I mean, I'm not 100% sure if we're on the E11 or not. I'll move forward a little bit more, try and see if this sign will tell us. Looking for a station then that's Al Shingada. But I can't see it. and I don't want to spend too long trying to pinpoint. Wait, maybe not a station. I don't know where I got that from. I probably made that up. There's a 92. Hang on. We should be able to get even closer. Let me think. Looking for a D92. I can see 90 here. 92 is there. So I've lost the D92. Where's it gone? It's here. I saw Al Hudayba, didn't I? So maybe we're actually closer to... It's hard to tell, but I think we're somewhere in this... Okay, I didn't spot that. Okay. Al Hudayba. Okay, if I'd spotted that, we'd have actually got closer. But anyway, that's basically how you more or less work out where you are. So right, now we're on to Belgium. And have we had Belgium? Don't think we have. So let's do it. Right, that's got a yellow rear plate, so that car might be Dutch or from Luxembourg or from somewhere in France. But Belgium, the plates are white, but they have red letters. So if you look carefully there, it's got a kind of pinkish look to it because of the red. So that's quite a nice clue. Architecture is more French than it is in the Netherlands. I'm terrible at describing architecture, but I can kind of do it by sight. I think like a kind of reddish sloped roof is something you're less likely to find in the Netherlands, but more likely to find in Belgium or France. Language, yeah, French and Flemish. Flemish being pretty much like Dutch. So that's pointing towards France. You get these, you get a lot of blue signs with white writing. Then you have all it's quite densely populated country, so you have this massive road network of N roads, which is normally what you'll use to help you pinpoint, unless you can find the town straight away. So let's move a bit. Drive on the right, of course. .be is the web domain. Generally quite flat country, unless you're in the south, where it's actually surprisingly hilly. Let's move a bit. Okay, now we're onto a main road. So I think if in Belgium, if you're on a road like this, you're going to be okay. You sometimes get these kilometre markers, which can be useful, but I don't tend to use them too much. So we might have a useful sign coming up here. Le Touquet. Hang on. Le Touquet is over here. That's weird. I'm pretty sure we're not actually there. There might be another one. I'll ignore that for now. Okay, N515. Okay, so we're definitely in Belgium. Let's think. N515. Ploegstert. Maybe that'd be easier to find than the road number. Could be around here because there are quite a lot of N5 something roads. Not sure though, because some of the place names seem to be quite Flemish, some of them are quite French. I'm not really sure. Move a bit more. Okay, so we're quite near Lille. And that seems to be west. Armentières. A25 as well. Armentières is there. So we can't be too far from there. N515 is here. Okay, so N58 is what we're on now, and we're looking for exits. I had a number, and it was 9, wasn't it? Plogstert. So I'm guessing we started pretty near here. I'm not going to pinpoint because that's not really what I'm going for in these tutorials. It's more just to work out your rough location. So I think we're somewhere around there. 2K is there, yeah. Okay, we're a bit further south, to be honest. Anyway, that's Belgium. Hopefully I covered everything I wanted to cover there. Good to have knowledge of the main towns, as it is in any country. So at least you'll recognise the names when you see them. If it's pointing you in the direction of one of them, you'll know where it is. I think all the ones that come up from this level of zoom are probably good to know about. Some of them are quite different. I think Namur is quite a strange looking place and very different from what you see in Antwerp, which again is different to what you see in Bruges. So there is quite a lot of diversity. But yeah, anyway, I'll move on now to another country, which may be a repeat, may not. Let's see. Got European style plates. Let's get moving properly, come on. Looks like Romania. Which I don't think we've had. I'm just using the language there. Suceava sounds very Romanian to me. As does that stop sign. Yeah, I think we're in Romania. What was I going to go and look at? Let's go this way. So, yeah, Romania, interesting country. I would like to go. So it's Romance language. So if you're familiar with Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, you'll see that a lot of the roots of the words seem to be quite similar. It's in the same language family. So that's quite an easy way to tell it apart. And then, in terms of, yeah, I think you get a lot of S's with that hook underneath. That's quite a common sign that you're in Romania. Again, you get some of the vowels, like the A with that thing above. I'm not sure what that accent's called. But yeah, language I find quite easy to spot because of the Romance link. And also place names, you get these endings that you just kind of know. They just become very familiar and you have a bit of a sixth sense for it. So that's what that van said. So we're probably here. Just a bit more on Romania though. So you get the Carpathians, which cut through like that. So if you're somewhere mountainous, you're gonna be along here. Then the rest of it is a bit flatter. Quite a lot of agriculture. You can use the mountains to kind of help you if you can see them. For example, if you can see a wide range of mountains to the north, you might be down here somewhere. And in terms of roads, these road numbers are really useful. If you see, generally the signs in Romania are quite useful. It'll point you towards decent sized towns with the road numbers, and you can go in and you can find them fairly quickly. So like here you can see the 60s are together, the 70s are together, some of the teens. So it's quite good as a country, and pinpointing is actually not bad as well because street names are done quite well, and everything like that. .ro is the web domain. Someone was saying they have a lot of Dacias because Dacia is a Romanian car manufacturer. I think that's one, and that. So that's something to look for. That badge. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think that is it. Yeah, telling different parts of the country apart is it's not that easy. I tend to use the landscape more than anything else. There's a bit of a different feel to this part of the country. It has much more architecturally. It's much more similar to Ukraine. I think you have a lot of kind of like white buildings with orange roofs maybe in the rest of the country, and then this here it's a bit more colourful like you see sometimes in Ukraine and Russia. But yeah, it's a good country. I think it's if Romania comes up, you're gonna be okay generally because it's got. This is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of sign that you like to see in Romania. Let's try and work it out then if this is actually the right spot. So I can't see the 25, to be honest. So maybe now we'll get a chance to actually do some map work here. So if we are looking for the 20s, we'll find them down here. So there we can see the 25. And it's pointing to Braila. And here. And the E87. So I think we might. Hang on. Let's get this right. That's the 25 still. So yeah, I think actually we're in this town, given that we've got the 25 and the E87. E87 would take us down to Braila, and the 25 would take us to Tekuki. So yeah, ignoring what was on that van, using the more reliable road numbers, we can work out they're actually probably in this town here. There we go. Right, so summary, let's think. Oh wait, I still need to do one more country because Greece was a repeat. So summary, we've had Belgium, Romania, UAE, Thailand. Thailand, well, for considering I'm supposed to know what I'm talking about in a tutorial video, that was a bit of an embarrassing one, but goes to show that I still have a lot to learn. And then Greece was a repeat, so we need to pick one more location so I can cover 5 countries in this video. Seems to have frozen a bit. Right, let's go again and get that final country. So let's see. Is this Brazil? Have we had Brazil? I don't think we have had Brazil. I'm not 100% sure yet. Let's just keep moving before I start. Oh, what? It's Thailand again. Jesus. Why do I think that was Brazil? Yeah, it could have been Brazil in a way. I think the yellow road marking confused me. Anyway, another repeat then. See, again, maybe it just shows that I'm not qualified to talk about Thailand in the slightest. But that time I used that knowledge I picked up and worked out that it might have been a similar area. So let's go to the next one. Right, okay. Now we're in Europe. And we are not even in Europe because we're in Israel. For God's sake, what am I doing? Right, okay. Well, Haifa is up towards the north. So, right. Okay, two terrible calls, Brazil and Europe, both being completely wrong. Let me just try and get some credibility back. So, big clue number one is yellow plates. Not that many countries use yellow number plates, and it's a pretty unique looking country for the countries that use yellow plates. So based on that, it's actually really easy to spot, because it looks nothing like Netherlands or Luxembourg, nothing like the UK, who have yellow rear plates, nothing like India, really. Probably some parts that actually look a little bit similar in terms of landscape, but nothing like Colombia, of course. Nothing like Japan, nothing like Laos. So if you get somewhere that's kind of got palm trees, quite dry, and it's got yellow plates, then you are in Israel. You've got the Hebrew script, bit of Arabic sometimes. If you're in Palestine, you'll find Arabic, but also sometimes if you're just in Israel. A lot of signs are kind of brown or green, so that one won't be so useful. But if we go along here, this one should be useful because it looks like it has a road number on it. So yeah, those red icons with road numbers are really useful. So if you zoom in, we'll probably find between Tel Aviv and Haifa there should be a 2, which is this one. So we can see already that we're somewhere along this stretch. It gets more kind of desertous as you go further south, and then as you get down here, it's actually kind of mountainous, similar mountains to the ones I was talking about before in the UAE over on the east. That kind of look to them. So yeah, Israel is kind of, you don't need to know too much really, because generally pinpointing is kind of okay because of all the road numbers and the fact that the quality of signs is quite good. So let me look for something a bit more specific than just Tel Aviv and Haifa. So maybe here we have a good sign. Nope. Okay, now we do. So Atlit, somewhere between these two places should be somewhere called Atlit. There it is. So, and Nevayam. So we're somewhere around here. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else there is to say. I find it quite hard to tell different bits apart. I tend to focus my guesses in the kind of area between Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, because that's where I think most of the population is. Haifa, you can kind of spot it because it's a bit greener. You can kind of see that here. There's actually a fair amount of vegetation, and probably a bit more than you'd find further south. So we're somewhere around there, I think. So, yeah, that's the end of this tutorial. If you have any specific questions about a place or something you think I didn't cover, then do mention it in the comments. Hopefully this was useful. I'm still going to do these every once in a while, and yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want me to cover, anything else you want to see. But other than that, I'm just going to keep kind of ticking through the countries 5 by 5 until I've covered the lot. So yeah, thanks for watching.